Hello everybody, Nerdy Painter here, and we are going to sit down for our weekly whip and chat today. I was not with you guys last week. I was just really busy with some behind the scenes stuff and Halloween, but we're going to hang out today and we're going to have a lot to talk about since we didn't get to speak last week. So we're going to get started. I'm working on Jewel of the Sea today. This is from Hannah Lynn and Dreamer Designs. I'm working kind of down here. I finished this up here. I love this canvas so much. I love how this is turning out. I have a lot of specials in this one, so hopefully I'm able to talk to you guys while I work, but this is kind of how it's looking. We're gonna work on this section right here. So I'm gonna kind of set everything up. I just wanted to kind of show you because it's not gonna be in the screen. I'm using my same old Bayou Bliss. I lost my lid. It's somewhere. And then I'm using actually just the Diamond Art Club free pens that you get in your kits. I do really like these. I have just a metal tip for the bottom and the top. And I've used this one for a long time. And my daughter's using my Miss Creations by Danny pen. She really likes it. So I'm just letting her use that and kind of using my free pen. So let me get you close enough to see and then make sure you're in screen here, and then we can get started. This is like this canvas is a little bit bigger. Can you guys? I'm gonna kind of work right here. Yeah, I think that's a good spot. Okay, let me get in my seat here and get myself comfortable. Okay, how are you guys doing? So I need this to be, let me think here. Can I bring it a little? I think I can bring it a little bit closer to me and still have you guys see it. Yeah, okay, you guys can see it. So how are you guys doing? We haven't talked in a little while. How was everybody's Halloween? Or is everybody gearing up for Thanksgiving and Black Friday? I know I am. I am kind of like getting my must shopping list started and kind of finalizing who I want to buy from, what my plan is, because you know, I kind of always start off as if I'm a millionaire, and then I reel it back down as if I actually am in the budget that I'm in. So, you know, I'm like, I'm going to buy from blah, 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 blah. And then I get more realistic about it. So I'm trying to shore up my list right now. I'm using just my NYX Notions putty in the bottom and the top. I just fill this actually with NYX Notion putty. I don't know which one I'm using, but I have a lot from her. It might be this one, the coffee one. I gave up on this putty for now. The Pure Bliss Wax Company putty. I did get some good advice, so thank you guys, on ways that I could make this potentially work for me. Some of you mentioned like adding cornstarch to it. I already tried the fridge, but you guys gave me some ideas. So when I go back to that, I probably will try some of those. I was just too frustrated with it right now, and I honestly just don't have the time to deal with it. So I just shelved it for now. And then I'm just using my tried and true. So, I'll definitely be looking for some new putty this Black Friday for sure. There's a couple shops I want to try their putty out. And putty is kind of one of those things where I do like a different putty a lot. You know, my pen, my tray, I kind of don't switch out very often, but I do like to switch my putty around. So I'll probably be looking for some good putty shops this Black Friday. So I guess let's get started. Let's hang out. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this because I think you guys can see there are some bubbles here. So all these bubbles, I have been using these pearls for squares, and I have just been kind of making them these. So these are all round drills that are a little bit smaller than normal rounds that are specifically made for square canvases. And I've been turning all my bubbles into these colors. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. I hopefully can talk and think and do all the things at one time, because I'm not sure if I'm able to do that, but we're going to try. So I'm going to turn these little bubbles into these. And I just generally like randomly pick a color. Like it's not, there's really no science behind it. I just kind of will grab a couple that I think I want to do. Not that one. Let me grab. So I got this light blue. These darker ones I use more in like the lighter areas. So let me just get them all out. So these are kind of all my options that I could use. I don't know if you, hopefully you guys can see those a little bit. So I'm going to pick some of these while we are talking and going over everything. So like I said, I am kind of figuring out what I'm going to do for Black Friday. Of course, Diamond Art Club keeps coming out with kits. I wish they would stop. They just had their fall drop not that long ago. And then this weekend, so tomorrow when you guys are seeing this, or today when you guys are seeing this, because I film these on Friday. So today is Friday. So they're coming out with 40 Christmas designs. And there are a couple that I have my eye on. I'm going to try to be good and not get very many because I already have a Christmas kit I'm planning on working on. And I only have so much time. You know what I mean? So I don't want to buy a bunch that I'm just sitting until next year. And I did, you guys maybe have seen my video for the fall releases. I got 2 of the fall releases, the cute little owl and the cute little turkey. Is it a turkey? I don't know. The little gobbler painting. And I did just order my specials for that. So those I'm hoping, I'm going to work on probably the next week. I'm going to work on this mermaid. I have another painting that I am trying to finish for you guys to do a review on. That's just like a fun little review video. So I need to finish that. So this next week, I'm going to work on completing this one, completing that one. And then I'm hoping the specials will at least be like shipped and on the way to me. And I can start on it and then just add my specials when they get here. So that's kind of my plan. I'm hoping that they're going to get here. So my plan is I'm going to kind of work on both of those canvases for the rest of November, probably early December. And then I have Christmas Home, which is a cute little, it's a cute little, I think I actually have it. Do I have you? Hold on, guys. Let me see if I have it here to show you. I think this is it. Yes. Okay. Oh, let me see if I can get you. So this one, I already ordered all the specials. I have them here. I have a lot of changes that I'm making to this because this one is a older kit. It is a square, so I'm probably going to have gapping and I'm going to be fine with it. I'm just going to get over it. But I made a lot of changes because they didn't chart fairy dust with this. I think this came out before they had created fairy dust. So like all this white was AB, I'm changing it to fairy dust, and I have a lot of changes I'm making. So when I get ready to kit this one up, I will do a special video to show you guys all my changes, where my specials are going, etc. before I kit that one up. But that's going to be my December kit. And then any of the kits that I buy tomorrow, but today for you guys, I'll probably add to that. So I'm going to try to stick to just 2, maybe 3. I don't mind carrying 1 over till next year, but most of the ones I like are the animal ones and they are smaller. So I'm not like super concerned if I don't like that I won't finish them because I can do like 2 to 3 small ones in a month. But that's kind of my plan for the next month or so is that I'm going to probably buy 1 or 2 from this Christmas release. I mean, not 1 or 2, 2 or 3 from this Christmas release. And of course, I'll do an unboxing for you guys. And then I'm going to work on that Christmas Home. And then the rest of this month, I'm going to try to work on that owl. And I'm going to try and work on Gobbler. And that's going to kind of round out my November. And when I get those specials and when I get ready to start on those, I will unbox that for you and kind of like show you guys where my specials are going to go. I told you I would start doing that and I definitely will. I like this little green for the bubbles. It's kind of cool. I got this actually to put in the octopus and I think I'm going to still do that. Well, I I've got to remember what my plan was for this. I might have to, I think I'm still going to do that. So I don't know. We'll see if we even get to that point here, because it's very hard to figure this out while talking. So that's kind of my plans as far as canvases go. So I have the specials coming for those fall kits. I'm excited about those. They're so cute. Me and my husband picked all the specials. There was unfortunately a lot of specials I wanted that weren't in stock. So I kind of had to pick different ones. So I'm hoping when they get here that they are going to work. If not, then I'll just, skip those particular specials, and I will just use, the ones that obviously make sense on the canvas. And then, they don't go bad. So I'll have them for other pictures in the future. But okay, this one, I keep grabbing the same one that is like 2. So we'll see about that, but that's kind of my plan. And as far as life is going good. Halloween was a lot of fun. My kids had fun. We carved pumpkins. We watched Hocus Pocus, the new one and the original. It was a little bit scary for some of my kids, but they enjoyed watching it. So we watched Hocus Pocus, we carved pumpkins. My older kids went trick-or-treating with my daughter. They had a lot of fun. The younger ones, we just did buckets of candy here. And they also had a lot of fun. And my kids actually didn't stay out as late as I thought they were going to. It was really cold, so they were not, and their bags were full. So they were able to come home early and not be out super late. So that was good. So they had a really good Halloween. Some of them are already out of candy, actually. My one son is like very good, and he will only have like 1 or 2 pieces of candy a day. And so he still has like a full basket. My other son, same way, he will like, I can have 1 piece of candy, and he'll actually eat his 1 piece of candy. The rest of the kids are kind of feral, and their 1 piece of candy turns into, multiple pieces of candy. And so their baskets are like pretty much gone at this point. But it's fine. It's that time of year, and let them have fun. Let them enjoy the holiday, And as we move on into November, I'm excited. This is my birthday month, actually. My birthday is on the 26th, so I'm excited for birthday month. I mean, not really, because honestly, I'm like old and I don't even celebrate, but I am excited actually for my daughter's birthday, because her birthday is the 27th. So her birthday is on Thanksgiving this year. I don't know if I've ever told you guys the kind of story of our birthday situation. So a lot of you are new, so I'm just going to kind of give you a brief overview. I have 7 children. My oldest child is from a previous marriage, but my husband adopted her when she was, I think, 3 or 4. So, he is her dad. And so she is 18. And then my husband and I's children that, we made together, I have 6 children. And so that's why there's such a big gap between my oldest and my next oldest. So my oldest son, so my daughter is 18. And then my oldest son is 11. And then I have a 10-year-old. He just turned 10 in September. We have an 8-year-old, I got to do the math here. We have an 8-year-old. We have a 6-year-old. We have the 4-year-old who's a girl. So those are all boys. And then the 4-year-old's a girl. And then the baby of the bunch, our last child, is a girl, and she was born November 27th. So she's turning 2 here this month. And it's crazy because my oldest daughter and my husband share a birthday. Their birthday is on the same day. In May. So that was always kind of cool that they shared a birthday. And then my youngest daughter, I actually went into labor with her on my birthday. And you'd think with 7 children, like I know when I'm in labor, but that's not the case. I didn't know I was in labor. I kind of thought that I was, but I'm always like, I had kind of two worries, you know, with your seventh kid. I was worried I was going to end up having the baby in the car because we live at like on a good, roads are good day. We live probably 50 minutes from the nearest hospital. And most of the time, my labors go pretty quickly. A lot of times I have to be induced, where they break your water for you. This might be TMI if you're a guy watching, I'm sorry. But most of you are probably parents, so you get it. Normally they have to induce me and they break my water. But once they break my water, things move pretty quickly. So I think like with my daughter, my 4-year-old, I think I had her like 28 minutes after they broke my water. So I was a little bit concerned that with having the 7th baby, I was going to have a baby in a car. And so, but then you're also concerned, like when you're pregnant, that you're going to go to the hospital for no reason. And they're just going to be like, girl, you are not in labor, go home. And so I was kind of having like that feeling, like I thought I was in early labor, but definitely not like ready to go to the hospital, starting like the evening of my birthday. And I was like, that would be so cool if I ended up having her on my birthday because, you know, my husband shares a birthday with our oldest, and then I would share a birthday with our youngest. And my husband's like, no, we want her to have her own special day. Hold her in, you know? And so the night of my birthday, I went to bed thinking, okay, I'm pretty sure I'm in labor, but it's not going to stop, right? So I'll probably wake up and we'll end up having to go. So, and I actually had a doctor appointment the next day. It was like, I think my 38-week appointment was the next day. So I was like, worst case scenario, I'll just have her kind of check me out when I go. And that's what happened. Was I woke up the next day. I was still kind of having contractions that wouldn't go away, but not super strong. And I just thought, okay, like I'll just have her check me. You know, they kind of check you at the end anyway. Sorry if this is TMI, guys. But so I was like, you know, I'll just have her check me. And they were kind of working on, she wanted to induce me. She wanted to induce me at 38 weeks because the baby my daughter was really measuring big. And I had a shoulder dystocia with my 6th child, my daughter, my 4-year-old. And she got stuck. And there was some issues with that. And so they were concerned that with my last child number 7, with her measuring much bigger, like much bigger, that I would have the same issue. And I have had a previous C-section. My oldest son was a C-section. So they kind of, even though I was able to have natural deliveries after that, they still are very nervous about that. And so, you know, there was just, she wanted to induce me early. There's so many like parameters, so they wouldn't let her induce me early. And so that day that I was going, she had asked like the board to induce me. They wanted to basically induce me that day that I was going in, and the board denied it. They said, no, she's not far enough along, basically, because they don't like to do that before 39 weeks. And I think at that point I was like 38 weeks in one day. So they weren't trying to do that. Honestly, it's ridiculous, but whatever. So I went in, she was like, no, they're not going to let me induce you. And I said, well, you know, I kind of feel like I might be in labor anyway. And she's like, oh, really? And I was like, I just kind of feel, you know, I've been feeling like I am. And so she's like, well, let me check you. That would be amazing, because, you know, she was worried. She wanted the baby to come out. I definitely wanted the baby to come out. And so she ended up checking me, and I was 4 centimeters. Or actually, I think I was 5 centimeters. I think it was 5 centimeters. And she was like, yeah, you're not going home. You're going straight to the hospital. And I was like, yay. So she was like, there's no way, you know, with this being my 7th baby, that she was going to let me go halfway to where I needed to be. You know what I mean? So it worked out. So she ended up being born the day after my birthday. So she does have her own day. But my birthday is the 26th and her birthday is the 27th. So it's kind of funny because we were like almost there to where we would have had our oldest share a birthday with my husband, and then my youngest would share a birthday with me, which would be kind of crazy. But she came out. I did have a shoulder dystocia, a pretty serious one with her. I actually ended up having a lot of complications with her, which is why she is our last baby. My husband, took care of that to make sure that it was our last baby, if you know what I mean. Because I did have a lot of issues. And again, we have 7 children. We need to be done. But medically, it was necessary also. I had a bad shoulder dystocia with her. They were able to safely get her out. But it was some work, and she didn't have like any serious damage, but she was very bruised, and like there was a little bit of scare there where there was an issue and they couldn't, she couldn't come out. They were trying to get her out. I'm trying not to be like super graphic for you guys, but there were some issues. And then after I had her, actually, I ended up staying 5 days in the hospital. She ended up having to go to the NICU just for low blood sugar. Everything else with her was fine. She just had some low blood sugar issues. So she ended up in the NICU, and then my blood pressure was an issue. So they ended up keeping me for 5 days after I had her. And then when I did get home, they sent me home on blood pressure medicine, which I had never had blood pressure issues ever in my life. And I didn't have them while I was pregnant. But after I was pregnant, and had her, I started having blood pressure issues. And so she sent me home on blood pressure medicine just as kind of a precaution. And then after that, things went really downhill, like scarily downhill. I went home, I was on that blood pressure medicine, and she wanted me like checking my blood pressure just to make sure like things were good. And so I would check it, and it was like slowly, it was just creeping up. I went and saw her again because I was in like the 170s over like 90, and she prescribed me another blood pressure medicine. And then she's like, I want to check you in a couple of days again. And between those 2 times of her checking me and me checking myself, I started feeling not great. And so like I was having a headache and just not feeling good. And so I ended up checking my blood pressure, and my blood pressure was like 210 over like 105 or something. And it was scary. So we ended up having to call an ambulance. The ambulance had to come, and I ended up not going with the ambulance that day, but I ended up, my OBGYN, I think she was like 6 days old at this point, the baby. She was like, go to the hospital now. So I went to the hospital. They ended up sending me home with more blood pressure medicine. And then I kept basically having it rise. Like it was not going down. And my OBGYN was upset because the emergency room sent me home at like, I think my blood pressure was like 170 over something. And they sent me home, and she's like, absolutely not, go back. So then I had to go back to the hospital, and I ended up staying. When I went back, I ended up staying for another 5 days at the hospital. Luckily, I was able to keep the baby with me. They don't generally like to do that. And I'm like, well, if she's not going to stay with me, then I'm not staying here. So you're going to have to figure that out, because, they were like, well, the baby can't be in here. And it's like, okay, well, then I can't be in here. I'm the only way she's getting food. So they ended up letting her stay with me. They ran a ridiculous amount of tests. And they never really found out what it was. Like, I just think that it was post-eclampsia, essentially, instead of pre-eclampsia, which you have when you're pregnant, I just had it afterward. But they were like, no. And it's like, yeah, because I've never had high blood pressure before, and now I do. So they were just like, no, I think you just have high blood pressure now. And it's like, that makes no sense. Like, but whatever. So they ran a bunch of tests. They couldn't find anything why this was going on. And so they ended up sending me home. You guys, I was on 4 different blood pressure medications. Like, that's crazy. Like 4 different blood pressure medications. And then another medication, which I don't even remember. And a lot of the issue was that my blood pressure was so high, but my pulse was in like the 30s. So they were having a really hard time because, you know, a lot of the blood pressure medicine will also bring your pulse down. And I was almost at like death level for pulse. So they were really having a hard time with the blood pressure medicine because my blood pressure was too high, so they needed to lower that. But my pulse was so low that they couldn't lower that anymore. And so they were just really struggling to figure it out. And thankfully they did. But during this time, my husband's like, absolutely not. Like, we're so beyond done. I'm taking care of this. You know, we kind of knew that she was our last baby anyway. But I probably could have been talked into another one. You know, if I'm being honest, I love babies. But he was just like, absolutely not. He was terrified. He thought he was, you know, going to lose me. And he's like, you are not leaving me with 6 children. Like, absolutely not. And so it was a very stressful, crazy time. And so we were definitely like, yeah, we're done. We're done having children. I will always love little babies, and, you know, I would have 1,000 if I could, but I think we are more than fine at 7. 7 is a fine number for us. So that's kind of why we're not having more children, is the last one scared my husband. And it was scary for me too, honestly. I wasn't as scared during when it was happening because I was just kind of in survival mode, right? Like, I was trying to take care of a newborn in a hospital. I had 6 other children. My daughter, my 18-year-old, was actually taking care of the other kids at home while I'm in the hospital and having issues. And during this time, we were also moving into the house that we live in now. My husband was renovating this house. We were trying to move into this house. So there was just so much going on that I didn't have even time to think about it. Now that I look back, I'm like, wow, that was really scary. Like, I definitely could have died. Like, I definitely could have. I definitely could have had a stroke. Like, my blood pressure was insanely high. And now my blood pressure is never goes over 130. Like, and it used to, like, I was always in like the 110 range, like 110 over. I don't really remember my bottom number, probably like 70 something, but it was always, you know, like in the 110s. So it's like, and it was consistently in the 170s. Like, they could not get it lower than that. And so they kept giving me more medication. And now, 2 years later almost, but probably for 6 to 8 months, I was on blood pressure medication. They, you know, I started with all of it, and then they'd say, okay, you can eliminate this one. Like, I'd go in and do blood pressure checks. She'd have me check it at home, and then they'd take one of them away and see how I did. And then they'd take another one away and see how I did. And now, like I said, I'm pretty good. It is something I need to keep an eye on, in case it is going to be an issue, because I definitely do have heart issues, and high blood pressure definitely runs in my family. So it is something that I will keep an eye on, but I am not on any blood pressure medication now, thankfully. So it was just a scary, I don't even know. I just got on the longest tangent. I'm so sorry, guys. I just told you like my life story for no reason. But that was kind of the end of pregnancy for me. So it was a stressful end of a season, I guess we could say. End of my season of having children. So kind of sad and bittersweet, but I'm thankful that I have 7 healthy children. And that's really all that I can ask for, right? Is that all my children are healthy. I am healthy. My husband is healthy. And I'm thankful for that, because I know that's not always the case. People assume, you know, oh, we have 7 children, you must be fertile myrtle. And actually, that's not the case at all. I am, I guess, you know what I'm saying, because I have 7 children. But my husband and I actually, we had fertility issues when we first started trying to have children. And it took us, the reason there is such a large gap between the two is because it took us a very long time to get pregnant. And then once we were able to, it just kind of was happening. But I think we tried for 2.5 or 3 years to get pregnant with my son, my second child. And we did go through fertility treatments. We were both tested. We had what they call unexplained infertility. Any of you who have struggled with fertility, you probably know that term. They didn't know why we couldn't get pregnant. I do have PCOS. I do have hypothyroidism. So it's probably more me, you know what I mean, than my husband. But they couldn't really explain like a specific issue besides the PCOS. And I was on fertility treatments for a while, just like Clomid and stuff like that. We never did IVF or anything like that. I'm thankful that we didn't have to do that, but I totally feel for people who are struggling to get pregnant, and I understand. I really do. That was a really hard time for us because I just, it's like, it was tough. I didn't understand where like I had my first child when I wasn't ready, when I wasn't looking to do that. You know what I mean? It was a happy thing, right? But it wasn't something that I planned for. Like it wasn't a planned pregnancy. And so then it was like, I found the love of my life. I found the person I want to have children with, and then it's not happening. And it's like, why, So I totally get that. If you're someone who is struggling to get pregnant or are having fertility issues, I'm with you. I feel you. And it's okay to feel however you feel. At that time, my sister, who is actually a fertile myrtle, she might be watching this. Hey, my sister is a fertile myrtle. She has 5 children, and her last 2 children she had while I was trying to have my second child. So she ended up getting pregnant with her 4th baby, and she was naughty, and then she got pregnant again with her 5th baby. I think her daughter was only like, I don't even know. I'm putting all her business out there. Sorry. I think her daughter was like 8 weeks old or something. And when she found out she was pregnant again, and I'm like, what the heck? I'm sitting here trying to get pregnant and you keep popping them out. Stop it. So she is a fertile myrtle. And so she got pregnant. So I get it. Like it's really tough when you're trying to have a baby and people around you are having babies. And that's all you want in your life is to have children, and you can't. So I totally understand that. I know that you and hey, you could be like me. So try to keep the hope, because it is hard. And if you would have told me back then that I would have 7 children, there's no way I would have believed you, because we couldn't even have one. Like, you know what I mean? Like I really thought that we would never have any children. So I totally get it. And I'm not crying. My voice is just like, excuse me. Sorry. My voice is like crackly. It's like that time of year where it's so dry that my voice, I need to start bringing water with me. I think I have a water, actually. I'm going to take a drink. So anyway, that's like my life story, guys. I'm sorry. That was like a whole, how many minutes are we in here? That was a whole TMI scenario that I was not even planning on talking to you guys about. But I totally understand if you are someone who is struggling with infertility. I feel for you. And I'm here for you if you need to talk. My email is in the description box. You can find me on Facebook and message me. I totally understand that sometimes you just want to vent. And I get that. I really, really do. I get it. So please don't think when you see me with 7 children, that it came easily. It didn't. And if anything, I can be a beacon of hope for you, because it can still happen. So don't give up hope. We ended up getting pregnant with my second son. It was my first child with my husband. I think I had gone through like 2 or 3 rounds of Clomid. Nothing had happened. And it was just a lot of stress. I think around that time we were looking to move. We were in Virginia. We were looking to move. There was just a lot of stress. And so I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. Me and my husband kind of just had a long talk about, if it's just going to be the 3 of us, it's just going to be my daughter, or our daughter now, because he had adopted her. and that we were okay with that. And that could just be the way that our life was meant to play out, and that's fine. And we kind of just said, I said, let's just take a break. This is too stressful. And I think that happens a lot, is that you're just so stressed. You have this goal in mind that you just wish you could do this thing, and there's just nothing you can do, it's out of your hands, really. And so it's stressful, and you without realizing, you're not trying to, but you're just putting so much pressure and so much stress on yourself. And so I just said, I'm done. I'm not going to do Clomid anymore. It also messes with you so much. If you've ever taken any of those drugs, you know that it's really hard on your body. And so I just said, we're done. We're done. We're not going to do it anymore. And in my head, I was thinking, well, maybe we'll get pregnant now, and we were actually going on a vacation. And so I'm like, this is when everybody says it will happen, is that, you give up and you go on vacation and then you get pregnant. And so that's what I was thinking in my head, like maybe it will happen. And it didn't, guys. It did not happen. We went on our vacation. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. We enjoyed our little family. And then I came home and same thing, I wasn't pregnant and I was sad about it. And then I just said, okay, I accept this. I actually at that time was a stay-at-home mom to my daughter, and she was starting kindergarten. And the whole reason I hadn't gone back to work was because we were going to try and get pregnant. And we knew that if I was going to have a baby, that, there wasn't really a point in me going back to work and then quitting to be a stay-at-home mom, because that was kind of going to be our goal. Well, I started looking for jobs. I found a job, and literally I think I hadn't even started yet, and I found out I was pregnant. I had kind of gone through like the background check and all of that, but I had not started, and I found out I was pregnant. So it was just kind of crazy. And then I ended up, I was a stay-at-home mom from then on out. And then I was able to get pregnant easily. I'm not sure why. I honestly have no idea what happened. I don't know if my body was just in that mode. I went from our second child, we had our second child, to, we weren't not trying. We weren't trying. We didn't think it was going to come easily, so we just weren't worried about it. And I ended up getting pregnant with my third baby when my son, I think, was 6 months old. I was shocked because, again, it took so long. Like, I just did not think that was going to happen. And then they just all kept coming. And so now here I am with 7. So that's kind of my journey that you guys didn't ask for, but I told you anyway. So anyway, let's get out of like TMI zone. So if you didn't know, I do have 7 children. And I love all of them dearly. And they're getting older now, but that's kind of like that stage of my life is definitely over. And we're just going to move into grandbabies, not anytime soon, but I'm transitioning into that. I'll hopefully be a grandmother one day, and I can spoil my grandbabies. So that's kind of my fertility journey that you guys didn't ask for, but I know a lot of people struggle with that, and it's like, I know how alone you can feel. And just know you are not alone. If you are struggling, please, you are more than welcome to reach out to me. I can just listen. I will shut my mouth. I won't say anything. And you can just vent. And if you don't even want me to respond, you can literally just send me a message and say, please don't respond. I just want to let this out. And you can just let it out. Let it out in my email. Let it out on my, what are they called? PMs or DMs or whatever on Facebook, and just say, don't respond, please. And I won't respond. But you can just tell me your story. You can let it out. And I can just be a safe space for you if that's what you need. Because I understand that it can feel very, very lonely. But anyway, my voice is like going out. I don't know why. My cold is gone. So moving on. My dog, Millie, if you guys remember, she's been having skin issues. She is doing a lot better. Thankfully, I think it was her food, guys. And I feel so stupid that I didn't even consider that. But she's so much better. She's not itching anymore. Her like scabs and kind of like dry skin issue. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, my dog Millie, she is a Bernese Mountain Dog. I know we have a lot of new people, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating it for those of you that have been from the beginning. You're awesome. But I know we have a lot of new people. Our dog Millie, she is a Bernese Mountain Dog. She had like a hot spot infection thing going on. And so we had taken her to the vet. They had to like shave a lot of her skin. She had some really gross scab things going on. And they put her on like an antibiotic and a steroid. And it cleared up. And then after it cleared up, she started not having like a hot spot, but she started having issues with her skin again. So we ended up having to call the vet. They extended her medication. And during that time, I realized, oh my gosh, we changed her food. Actually, my husband realized, he's like, I wonder if it's her food, because we had changed her food. I think like in the last 2 months, we had changed her food. And I didn't even think about that. And I wish I would have, because we used to have a dog named Princess. She was a Rottweiler German Shepherd mix. She was the best dog ever. She was like that. She could only eat certain foods, or she would get really like, she'd get these horrible scabs in her ears, and like she could only have certain grain-free food. And I said, oh my gosh, that's probably what it is, because we switched her food. And it's like the same thing is happening to her. She's super itchy. She's got these like scabs from itching, but just like super dry skin, like just really gross. And so we immediately changed her food back, and she was still on the antibiotic. And like they had this like spray that we could put on her also, just like on any like open type of wounds, which she didn't really have. She just had one that was kind of the remnants of the issue she had, you know what I mean? But she didn't have like any more open wounds. And we switched her food, and she's great now, guys. It took about, I want to say 2 weeks to kind of, it was honestly almost immediately that she stopped itching. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's what it was. Did I not think about that? You know what I mean? Because I felt horrible, because I know she was miserable while we were not paying attention. But she's doing a lot better. Like, she's not itching at all anymore. She doesn't itch. Her fur, because I shaved her whole back. Like, I was like trying to figure out what was going on, and I shaved the whole thing. She looked crazy. But her hair is like growing back now. She has no scabs. She has no dry skin. She has no like flaky skin. She's not itching. Like, she is back to normal. And I'm so glad, because I was really freaking out. Like, she's only 2, so she's young, and I'm just like, man, I hope she's not, because the vet said like this is something that they can deal with for a long time. Like, dogs that end up having issues like this, it's something that can be an issue like throughout their lifetime. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I hope this isn't going to be like a thing, you know. But she's better. Like, she's so much better. So she will just be sticking to that food forever now. We will not even try to change her ever again. And hopefully they continue to make that food for the rest of her life. Because I will not be switching it. Like, we will buy stock in that company, and she will stay on that food forever, because it was horrible and I felt horrible. But she is doing much better. Thank goodness she's doing much better. And then I think I was talking to you guys, the whole tangent that I just got on was about Black Friday and it being my birthday month, and me excited about that. I do plan to shop a lot this Black Friday. I'm super excited. I am, like I said, shoring up kind of who I want to buy from. Of course, I'm going to buy from Diamond Art Club, of course. Of course, I'm going to buy from Dreamer Designs. They actually sent out an email. If you guys are into Dreamer Designs, I guess they're going to increase their prices. And they are coming out with 77 new kits this Black Friday. So I'll definitely be purchasing from them. I'm not super concerned about them increasing their prices. I think they said like it's going to be 5 to 10% in the email that they sent. For me, they just do such good sales throughout the year. Like, they always have, like, on Mondays, they always do like I can't remember what they call it. It's like Mystery Monday, where they do so many kits and they'll have a certain deal. Like, sometimes it's buy one, get one 75% off. Sometimes it's buy one, get one 50% off. They do a different like mystery deal, and it's only on some of their canvases on Monday, but that's a great deal. You know what I mean? And they always have, like in my mini kits that I just bought, they had a buy one, get one 50% off coupon that I haven't used yet. So I'm going to use that at some point. And they just always have really good sales. So for me, them increasing at 5 to 10% isn't really gonna matter. That only adds $5, $10 per canvas. And some of their canvases are already only in like the $30 range, the $40 range. So yes, it will increase their prices, but for me, I'm just not that worried about it because I don't really buy from them unless I have a coupon code anyway. Just because, I don't know, I always have to buy with a coupon code. Like, I don't want to pay full price ever. So it's like, if there's not a coupon code, then I'm not going to buy anyway. And if there is a coupon code, then it's not going to really make a difference, if that makes sense. So I'm not really worried about it. But they did send something out saying that they're going to increase their prices, and that they're coming out with 77 new designs for Black Friday. So they're like killing me because I know Diamond Art Club comes out, I think, with 100 new designs on Black Friday. Or at least they have the last couple years. That since I've been watching them, that's how they've done it. And then they generally do like a 30% off coupon. And then on Cyber Monday, I think they come out with, it's either 50 or 25. I can't remember. That is not the right color. I think it's either 50 or it's either 50 or 25 kits for Cyber Monday. And then I think last year they did 25% off. So I think last year I bought 13 kits. Actually, I think it was 13 overall. And I think that included the 2 that I got from Dreamer Design. So last year, Black Friday, I got 2 from Dreamer Designs. And I think that means I must have gotten 11 from Diamond Art Club. I'm going to do better this year, for sure. Because I want to try other companies too. So I'm going to try to be good. But man, they make it hard, And I think I'm going to use my points. I have a lot of points saved up. And I think I'm going to use my points for their release tomorrow for me, but today for you guys, the Christmas release, because it doesn't really make sense to use your points for their sale because you can't use both. So like on Black Friday, if you guys have points saved up, you can't use your points and then use their Black Friday discount code to get the 30% off. So it's like, it doesn't really make sense for me to save my points because that's kind of what I was going to do, is save my points for Black Friday. But it really doesn't make sense to do that because I can't use my points and then their coupon code. So I could use my points just so I'm not like shelling out that cash, you know what I'm saying? But I won't get the 30% off then. I'll just be paying regular price. And I don't want to do that because in my mind, I can't do that. In my mind, I need the coupon. So I think I might use my points for this Christmas release. And then I will use, I'll just use the coupon code for Black Friday is my plan. But I'm going to try not to go ham on Black Friday for Diamond Art Club because they will most of the time restock those kits, and I can't do all those anyway. I have so many kits, I don't even need to buy anything on Black Friday. Let's be for real. But I'm going to, and if you're someone who's like not a big shopper and you want someone to, hold you accountable and you're not like a shopaholic, I'm not going to be the one for you. I'm sorry. I am a shopaholic. I'm not, honestly. I'm actually pretty good. I know it doesn't seem that way when I'm unboxing all the things and talking to you guys, but this is actually the only space that I spend my money. Like, I do not spend money otherwise. I don't get my nails done. I don't get my hair done. I don't buy new clothes. I literally have the same clothes that I've had for like, I don't know, 15 years. Like, I don't buy clothes. I don't do my nails. I don't get my hair done ever. Literally the last time I got my hair done actually was, I believe, my last birthday, and that was only because my mom gave me a gift card to go get my hair and nails done, and that was why I did it. Otherwise, like, I literally haven't cut my hair since my last birthday, or whatever day that was, whatever time that was that I got my hair done last time that my mom gave me the gift card. that was, what I did. So this is where I spend any money that I have. This is where I spend it. I just enjoy it. I enjoy collecting the pieces. I know that it is a lot of pieces that I have. Like, I have a lot in my stash, but I will eventually do them. You know what I mean? I'm hopefully, it is the plan at least. I'm going to be here, 20 or 30 more years. So I have plenty of time to do this. And I have always been a crafter. Like I told you guys, I have cross-stitched for the last 30-ish years. I started cross-stitching when I was in 6th grade. And while I do kind of have ups and downs where maybe some months I don't cross-stitch at all, I always come back to it. Like, these things don't go bad, right? So this is just kind of where I spend my money, my gift money, my extra money. This is just where I choose to spend it. So it is a lot, but that's just where I choose to spend my funds. You know what I mean? And everybody spends their stuff differently. And when I don't have it, then I don't spend it, obviously. So it's not like I'm going into debt doing this or anything like that. If I don't have the money, then I do not spend it. There was a time, even this year, from probably right after Black Friday, actually, until I want to say like June, right before I started my channel, I did not buy any Diamond Art Club. I went months. I was actually about to lose, I think I was actually about to lose my, what do you call them? Like, my saved up points. I think they were about to expire, because I hadn't bought anything in that long. So, there's ebbs and flows to it. Right now, I'm just trying to spend my money. So that's just what I'm going to do. So I'm excited about this Black Friday. I'm going to try to be good, like I said, though, with Diamond Art Club, because I know I can buy them throughout the year. They don't generally do as good a sales as they do on Black Friday throughout the year, but I'm just not as concerned about it. You know what I mean? Like, I really want to try some new companies. I really do. So I have a couple, so I will get canvases from them, but I'm going to try to really limit it to my must haves. Like, not just buy it because I like it, but like must have, like, I want to do this one soon type of thing. That's kind of how I'm going to treat Diamond Art Club. Dreamer Designs, I'm going to purchase probably any that I like. I'm not, same thing though, because they do such great deals throughout the year, I'm not going to worry too much. You know what I mean? Like, I will get the ones that I really like. But if it's something that I can do without, and I just kind of like it, then I'll just wish list it. Cause I do want to have funds to purchase from other companies. I really want to try Captured by Radiance. I've had them on my list for a long time, and I just really want to try them. I saw Diamonds for Linda. I think that's her name, Diamonds for Linda. I saw her unbox her Captured by Radiance piece, and she got like a pen. It was so cute. I love that pen. And that canvas that she unboxed, actually, it's like a lion, is actually the one that I've had in my cart. I had it in my cart, and then it sold out, which is why I originally didn't buy from them. And then it's back in stock now. So I want to get that lion. I think it's beautiful. But I don't want to buy it now because I want to wait till Black Friday. So hopefully it's still going to be there on Black Friday. And I'm probably going to buy that one. And then I'm hoping they're going to come out with some new stuff too. Hopefully they do. And so I really want to try them. So they are definitely on my list. I really want to try Diamond Artisan Shop. They have an artist there who I really, really like. I can't remember her name, but she does like a lot of like pastel-y purples and stuff like that. And so that's kind of like right up my alley. So I really want to try Diamond Artisan Shop. I'm trying to think of the other ones I have on my list. I have Muni Made. I really want to try Muni Made. I really want to try their trays too. So I'm probably going to try them. They do have a couple canvases that just came back in stock, or at least I just noticed that they're back in stock that I was waiting on. So, but again, I don't want to buy it right now because I want to wait until hopefully they're having a sale. Because the thing about these smaller companies is they're a lot more expensive. Like, a lot of their kits are like $80, $90, $100. And so I just have a really hard time buying those, especially if I haven't tried them, because it's just a lot for one kit, in my opinion. And I don't want to spend that type of money especially if I don't know if I'm even going to like it. You know what I mean? Like, that's a lot of money for one canvas. So I want to wait till Black Friday. So I'm hoping that I can get from Unimade, I can get from Captured by Radiance. Hopefully they will have a decent sale, and I will try both of them. I'm trying to think of who else. I kind of have been keeping my eye on, so Jaded Gem Shop, I've wanted to try. I do have my cross stitch conversion I've already purchased that. It's on its way. So I purchased the drills and the canvas from Jade, of Jaded Gem Shop, and she was awesome to work with. So I'm waiting for that to come in. I've already purchased that. And I'd like to purchase some canvases from her. The style of painting she has on her shop just aren't really my style. She has like a lot of, like people portraits, which are gorgeous, but I just don't generally gravitate towards that. And she doesn't have a whole lot of like animals. Like I generally like to do animals. And she doesn't have a whole lot, but I am going to keep an eye on her site because maybe she'll come out with some newer things. I know actually, I think she is pregnant right now. I just saw an update where I think she has like a high risk pregnancy going on. So she might not do, you know, something for Black Friday. I don't really know, but I am going to keep an eye on it because I would like to support her shop. I think she was amazing to work with for my cross stitch conversion. And she was really helpful. She kind of handled everything for me. I ended up getting the specials. The specials I got from DP with Sparklers, I already have those. So I'm just waiting for the drills and the canvas, and then I'll do an update video for you guys on that. I'm really excited. So I will probably be starting on that one here soon. That one's going to be like a longer term. I'm going to really go slow with that one. It's going to be a lot of fun. But I really did enjoy when I was working with her for that. She was very kind. So I would like to support her shop. But I want to get something I'm going to want to work on. So we're just going to have to see if she comes out with any new things. So those are kind of 3 of the shops. I do have like Oraloa on my list. Ever After Diamond Painting, I think is what it's called. And I can't remember the other one. I think Diamond Art Gallery. I want to try them. They have like a unique thing going on where they have like limited edition kits where you get a certificate, and you get like if you order one of those, you get like a special pen and special trays, which I think is kind of cool and unique. A lot of companies don't do that. So I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by them. And so I'm going to keep an eye on them as well. And if they do something for Black Friday, I may purchase from them. I can't purchase from all the companies I just listed. I am not a millionaire. Like I told you, I act like I'm a millionaire when I go shopping, and maybe it might be fun actually. Maybe I'll take you guys shopping with me and we can pretend like we're millionaires together. And we can go shopping, because that's kind of what I do is I will pretend like I'm a millionaire and I put like everything in my cart. And then I have like if you guys saw my cross stitch painting fairy, I'll have like $3,000 in my cart. Like I'm just big ballin' and I'm a millionaire. And then I will start eliminating and I'll be like, we have to get real now. So then I will start narrowing it down. But when I'm just like shopping, like right now talking to you guys, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to shop here, 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 here. I won't be shopping at all of those places. I'll pick a couple. And it'll just be dependent on who has the best sales, who has the kits that I really want to try. And you know what I mean? And then I'll kind of narrow it down, but I'll go window shop at all of the places. And then I'll kind of have to reel myself in because, you know, I have the eyes of a millionaire, but I don't have the wallet of a millionaire. And so, but I just enjoy, I enjoy Black Friday. I enjoy the shopping. It's just fun for me. So I will definitely be doing that. And maybe we can go together. Maybe we can do some videos where we are shopping together. This is another bubble I missed, so we need to do that one real quick. So that's kind of my plan for Black Friday. Do you guys have a plan for Black Friday? Are you big Black Friday shoppers, or are you really good and just like, no, it's just any other day? And I avoid all of that. I definitely avoid going out in public because it is way too crazy. I will say, I think me and my husband went out last year, and it wasn't as bad as it has been in past years. I think probably because a lot of people do it, have brought their, I don't want to do green there because it's like close to the green. Sorry guys, I have to think about this bubble. I just did a light one there, so I wanted to do, let's do blue. What was I saying? It wasn't as bad last year when we went out. I think because there are so many companies that just do it online now that it kind of takes away from the craziness in person, but I still don't want to go out. I don't want to deal with all that because it is still busy, especially in like if you go to like the Walmart in our town. That's the only place literally that you can shop that isn't like groceries in our entire town. So it's always packed. It's crazy and I don't want to deal with it. So I probably will just stay home and do my online fun. I'm trying to think if that is a bubble. I think that's part of the bubble. So I don't plan to go anywhere, but I'm going to do a lot of online shopping. So are you guys like an online shopper, or are you a in-person, I like to go type of shopper? I definitely don't want to go. I don't like people that much. I'm a homebody. I don't like people that much. And then it's inevitable. Like the older I get, like I'll go out and then like people will be coughing and like it's giving me anxiety just thinking about it. I have anxiety, guys, and it just gives me anxiety thinking about like the people coughing and then touching stuff. And I'll just like, no. My anxiety is already like, no, I can't, but I mustn't do it. So I will just online shop and have fun online shopping. So those are kind of my plans for the weeks coming up. I have a couple unboxings for you guys. I have already made, let's see. I actually ordered, I'm really excited. I ordered, so already, which I should have waited, but you know, whatever, I didn't. I ordered from Bayou Bliss. I ordered their drills and, no, not drills and chills. Their, what's it called? Jingle drills tray, because it's adorable. I don't think I'm going to do not drills and chills. Sorry guys. Jingle drills. I don't think I'm going to participate because, I don't know. I just don't want to. I probably actually am going to participate, but not like for prizes. Like I'll just kind of follow along. I did join like the Facebook group and I'm going to like, you know, I'm going to try to be a part of it, but I'm not going to, do it for prizes or anything like that. And I got the tray from Bayou Bliss because it's adorable. You guys need to go check it out. It's like a, reindeer, and it was so cute. And then she also had another tray that's like a gingerbread house that I was going to get, but I didn't because I was like, let me just I'll relook on Black Friday. Be good, Maria. But I did get the event tray because I thought it was adorable. Oh, I love these two. I think that looks okay though. So I did get their event tray. So I already ordered that. And then I ordered 2 pens from O'Brien's Custom Turning. I think that's what it's called. And I got one that was like a mystery pen that I think is wood. And she's so nice. So I thought, like, it's a mystery listing. So obviously it's a mystery. You don't know what you're getting. And so I'm fully expecting to get whatever I get and not throw a fit. You know what I mean? It's a mystery, so you need to be prepared that it's a mystery, you know, and I'm fine with that. But she actually messaged me and said, hey, you know, are there any colors that you really like? And she just kind of asked for, you know, my preferences, which I thought was really nice because I was fully expecting to just get whatever I got. But she let me kind of tell her the colors I like. I told her that I have, some arthritis in my hand, so I was kind of looking just for a lighter pen, and she said, yeah, the hybrid pen that's like a wood, I think it's like wood and resin, might be a good option for me. And so she just kind of like, I don't know if it's a her or him also, so I apologize if it's a him and I'm saying her. I don't know. I think it's a husband and wife, but I don't know who I was talking to. But they were really nice. And so I kind of told them the colors that I like. And so I still don't know what I'm getting because, you know, it's a mystery. But I'm really excited. And they were really, really nice to work with. So I'm excited. I don't know when I'll get that. I don't know if I'll get that before or after Black Friday, but when I get it, I will obviously unbox it for you guys. And I ordered another pen too that was like a color that I did pick from one of their like blanks. And then you get to like, you pick the blank that you want. So like, you know, it's like a square block of resin, I guess. I don't even know what it is. So you pick it based off like the color you like. And then they have a bunch of options for turning styles. You know, some have 2 bumps, some have 3 bumps, some are top heavy, some are bottom heavy, and you can pick the style turning you want. So I did that. So I already ordered from those 2 companies, and I probably, you guys, if they do a good Black Friday sale, because I have a lot of shops on Etsy that I will also be purchasing from. So again, this, you know, this is Millionaire Maria talking. I have a lot of companies from Etsy I also want to purchase from. So if they do a good Black Friday sale, I might order some more for them because I really, really like, I just like their customer service. I haven't seen the pen yet. I have seen unboxings of their pens and they're gorgeous. I don't need a bunch of pens, so I'm not going to go crazy, but I wouldn't mind a couple more. I think it's good to have like a couple choices in your stash. Captured by Radiance, actually, I think I said that, also has pens, and I might buy one of their pens too. So we'll see. I haven't really gotten into the whole buying a bunch of pens thing, but I would like to have some. I just want to. So we'll see. So if they have some good Black Friday sales, then I might snag some more. I will probably get another tray from Bayou Bliss if she does a Black Friday sale. I love her trays. And I pretty much exclusively use her trays. They're the only trays that I really use. So I definitely wouldn't mind having some more. And the one that I ordered, the drills and chills, or no, the jingle drills, it's the higher wall one. So this one is their narrow. They have like their regular, which is like bigger. This is their narrow, which I love this size because it fits in my hand better. The bigger one was harder to hold in my hand. So I love the narrow. And then I got the one with the taller walls because I feel like that's going to be the perfect tray. I feel like if this one had taller walls, it's like the perfect tray. So I wanted to try the taller wall one. And I don't know, I don't think that will be here before Black Friday, but if it is, I'll, you know, like I said, I'll do an unboxing and show you guys. But I'll probably buy from both of them. And then I have a bunch of putty places that I would like to try. So pretty much putty-wise, whoever is doing a Black Friday sale, I will probably try their putty. Just because I like to. But we'll see, because again, this is Millionaire Maria talking, and realistic Maria will come back. I'll come back before Black Friday. Millionaire Maria is going to be here until Black Friday. And then once I see all my choices, then Broke Maria will come back and she will make an appearance again. So right now I'm just living in a fantasy. So just let me be, guys. Let me live in my fantasy, and I'll come back down before Black Friday and be more realistic. But you guys, hey, live in the fantasy with me. Let's all have fun and just enjoy the season, right? This is like my favorite season. I love buying stuff. I love giving gifts. I love shopping. So this is like my favorite time of year. So you're going to see like crazy Maria here for a while. So hopefully you guys don't mind. Hopefully you can be crazy with me. Let's be millionaires together. Let's have fun together. And let's enjoy the season, right? So we can all enjoy. We can all window shop. We can all enjoy. I'm definitely not going to be purchasing from all these places, but I can dream. I can dream. You never know. I could win the lottery like next week. I don't even play the lottery, but I could. My husband does. My husband buys lottery tickets. I've never bought lottery tickets. I'm of the camp of like, you're never going to win that. And my husband's of the camp of, well, you won't win if you don't buy it, which is true. So, I mean, maybe we'll win the lottery. And you guys will see some changes. You will know if I win the lottery. You will know. So that's kind of my plans coming up. I hope you guys are excited about Black Friday. I hope you guys are excited for the season coming up. This is like my favorite time of year. I've got some fun videos scheduled or planned for you guys that I need to film over the next few weeks. I've got a couple that I'm working on. I don't know if I told you because I got distracted. This whole video has just been me going on rabbit trails. Sorry. I did order, I've got 2 orders from Painting Fairy coming. I'm about to make another order. I've got a order from 121 Stitch coming that I'm super excited to share with you guys. So I have some things coming. I have some things that I've already received that I need to unbox for you guys. So we're going to have some unboxings coming up. We're going to have some finishes, hopefully. I'm going to finish this mermaid. I love this kit. This is my favorite kit that I've ever completed. It has been so fun to work on. So I will have this one finished for you guys. I will have a couple that I'm starting, and I will show you guys my specials that I picked, and we can do that together. I might even, I don't know, I'm still thinking about it, like maybe doing like a live or something, and maybe we could do like a live shopping or something like that. I don't know. Well, I'll have to see. I'm not that good at technology, so I'm a little bit scared to go live, but I don't know. We'll plan something. I'd love to hang out with you guys as we shop and just, you know, just hang out, talk, shop, eat, drink, all the fun things. So you guys let me know down below, what are your plans for this holiday season? I would love to hear your plans. Why don't you guys leave me, if you stayed till the end, since this whole video has been kind of crazy, why don't you leave me a dollar emoji, dollar bills, leave me a dollar emoji or dollars emoji. I don't know what they have, to let me know you hung out with me today. And thank you guys for hanging out with me. I should see you guys next week. I plan to see you next week. And we will talk some more. I will let you guys know what I purchased from the Christmas release from Diamond Art Club. And you guys will see that video coming, and we will start planning out our Black Friday. So you guys let me know your plans for Black Friday. Leave me a dollar emoji, and I will see you guys in my next whip and chat. Thanks for hanging out today, guys.